Hey everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build this really compact, fully automatic honeycomb and honey farm. Now you can switch between harvesting honey and harvesting honeycomb. You don't need two different farms. I'm going to show you how to build it. Now to build the farm you're going to need what's in this large chest. Pause the video if you need to, but you're going to need a stack and a half of spruce logs, 6 dark oak stairs, a stack and a bit of oak stairs, 6 oak slabs, 10 or so solid blocks, 9 slabs, 9 stone brick slabs we're using, 2 cracked stone blocks, 15 pieces of redstone dust, 4 repeaters, 1 comparator, 4 hoppers, 1 dropper and 2 dispensers, 1 dropper and 2 dispensers, 2 observers, 2 redstone torches, 4 sticky pistons. You're also going to need a spruce door and 2 spruce trapdoors, a sign. You're going to need 3 grass blocks, 3 flowers. Don't have to be azure bleuet, however you pronounce that. They can be any single tall, one tall flower. 3 glowstone, again, they can be any illuminated block. You can use frog lights or you can use sea lanterns for that, and 6 pieces of glass. That can be any coloured glass that you want. You don't even need glass. If you don't want to see into the farm, you can make those solid blocks, but if you do want to see in, you're going to need glass. So now we've just got to find somewhere to build it. So when you find a place to build this farm, you want to get to the front where the chest is going to be. The chest is going to be 1 block down. This is going to be the floor level of your farm. So you want to knock out a block at the front and you want to put down your chest. Like that. That's where all of your honeycomb and bottles of honey are going to be stored when they've been spat out of the farm. And then you want to go behind that and you want to dig out all of this. You want to dig out a 2-block layer of dirt or whatever it is you're building it on. You need to go down 2 levels. You will have to dig down a little bit further in other places, but we'll worry about that later. For the time being, you just want to give yourself a little bit of room. So if we go down 2 blocks like that, we've got a bit of wriggle room. Now you want to get yourself out your hoppers and you want to put 2 hoppers coming out the back of your chest. So you want a hopper there and then you want to crouch and put another hopper going into the back of that hopper. Make sure they're both pointing the same way into the chest. And you want to come out and you want to crouch and look at the top of the second hopper and you want to put down a hopper going into the top of that hopper. So anything that goes in there will go down and across and into your chest. And then going into the side of that, we're at the front of the farm now. Going into the side of that one, crouch again, you're going to have to put another hopper. So anything going from that hopper will go into that hopper, will drop down to that hopper, and into the chest. So now you should have something that looks like that. So now you want to get back around to the front of the farm. You're going to put down your bee nest now, or your beehive. Either's good. It doesn't matter which one you use. And you need to crouch and put it on top of that center hopper. Okay, so the front of it is looking towards the front. And now this is very important. And I'm going to bang on about this far too much. And I'm sure I'll get comments about it below. But you need to use a dispenser pointing into the beehive or the bee nest. It can't be a dropper. If it's a dropper, this is not going to work. It needs to be a dispenser. You're going to need to crouch and you need to put that dispenser pointing into that bee nest or beehive, okay? And now you want to put down a couple of temporary blocks like that. And then you want to get underneath here and you want to put a dropper facing down into this dispenser. Again, this has to be a dropper, not a dispenser. If this is a dispenser, this won't work. So get yourself a dropper, look up at your temporary block. Now you've got a dropper pointing into your dispenser and your dispenser pointing into your bee nest. Okay? Dropper, dispenser. Now you want to get around the other side, put yourself down another block, temporary block, and you want another dispenser pointing into the bee nest on the other side. Okay? These have got to be dispensers. If they're droppers, this is not going to work. This dispenser is going to be full of shears because it's going to harvest your honeycomb. This dispenser and dropper are going to be filled with empty bottles, and that's going to harvest your honey. Okay, so you've got bottles in that side, you've got shears in that side. Now you want to take out a slab and you want to get around the back of the farm, and you'll need to put 5 slabs coming out of the back of the farm, just below just below the beehive or the bee's nest. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be where the redstone is going to be put, where the redstone signal is going to be taken out of the back of the bee nest. Now take out your comparator, and you want to put a comparator coming out of the back of the bee nest. That's going to read a signal, and when that's giving off a signal strength of 5, 5 pieces of redstone dust will be lit up, and that means that the farm is full. It won't, if you start trying to harvest a bee's nest or a beehive before it's giving out a signal strength of 5, it just means it's not full. If you can't see honey dripping out the front of it, it's not full. All right. Now, coming out of that comparator, you need 4 pieces of dust like that. Now, take out a solid block, and you'll want a solid block on either side there, and then just extend out that dust. So now you've got the T shape. You've got 5 pieces of dust coming out of your comparator. Okay. Now you want to take out a slab, and you want to put a slab just there. All right. And then you want a repeater. Leave it on 1 tick, coming out of that block. And then you want a sticky piston down there and a block on top of it. Okay, so make sure the block is just below the repeater. Okay, because what's going to happen is when we select honeycomb from the front of the farm, that piston will push up, allowing that repeater to put a signal through that block to complete a circuit that we're going to do in a second. Once it's down, the redstone won't go past that block, so it won't complete the circuit, okay? And the other side will. So it's important that you have it looking like that. Now you need to whip out a temporary block, put a temporary block there, and on top of this temporary block, you'll need a sticky piston. Then make sure you break that block. You don't need it anymore. And then on top of the sticky piston, facing that way, you'll need the observer block. Now make sure that the redstone output part of the observer block is facing the front, and the smiley face detection part of the observer block is facing the back. Okay, don't have the redstone part facing upwards or downwards or to the side. You have to have the smiley face at the back and the redstone part, the output, at the front. Okay, because we want to power that top dropper, and we can't do that unless the redstone is facing the front. Now on the back of this dispenser, remember dispenser, on the back of it at the top, you'll need to crouch and put down a slab. This has got to be a slab. If it's a full block, the observer is going to power that dispenser and fire it when it shouldn't do. Okay, so make sure that is a slab. And then on top of the slab, you'll need to put down a repeater on 1 tick. That's going to do 2 things. When the observer gets pushed upwards, that's going to be powered. It's going to power the dropper, which is going to drop an empty bottle into the dispenser, and at the same time, it's going to fire out that empty bottle into the bee nest, and it's going to harvest the honey and then pull it back in again. So empty bottle dropped into there, empty bottle fired into there, comes back as a full bottle of honey, and then it gets sucked out by the hoppers and goes into the chest at the front. So now you should have something that looks like that. Now you want to get around the other side and do something very similar, not the same, it's just similar. Grab yourself a slab. You want to put a slab there like that with a repeater on top of it, leaving it on 1 tick. You'll need a sticky piston down the bottom with a solid block on top of it. Okay, those 2 circuits are going to be working in oppositely. When that side is up, this side will be down. When this side is down, that side will be up. Yada, yada, yada. Okay? Now, coming out of that one, you'll need to put down another slab. And on top of that slab, you'll need another repeater. Okay, so when this piston is up, the signal can come through there. Now you need to take out that block. Okay, that temporary block that we put down when we put the dropper in, when we put the dispenser there, that has to be gone. It can't stay there. If it stays there, the dispenser is going to be powered when it shouldn't be. Make sure that there is no block underneath that dispenser. Now next to that repeater, you'll need to put down a sticky piston, and on top of the sticky piston, you're going to need to put down another observer block. Okay? That's why you can't have a block there, because if you had a block there, that observer block would power the block, it would power the dispenser. Make sure there's no block there. Okay, so now you should have something that looks like that. So now we need to put in the redstone system under the bottom that is going to power those two sticky pistons oppositely. And to do that, we're going to need to put down a lever. So if we put down a block of choice, now this is going to be the front of your farm. I'm going to build this out of spruce. You can build it out of whatever you like, really. It's entirely up to you building the front of it. But the lever is going to go there. Okay, and then we're going to have some glass in there and whatever, yada, yada, yada. But the lever has to go there like that. Now you need to get around the back of it again, and you need to dig out those blocks. Okay, and then you need to put down some redstone dust like that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of redstone dust. So when the lever is powered, that piston gets pushed up, this side is activated. Now you want to jump down in your farm, and then you want to put a redstone torch there, like that. And then you'll need to run some redstone dust, like that, okay? So when this piston is down, that piston is up. And when this piston is down, that piston is up. So only one side of the farm works at any one time. So if it's harvesting honey, it can't be harvesting honeycomb. And if it's harvesting honeycomb, it can't be harvesting honey. So now it's time to build the enclosure where the bees are going to be kept. So get yourself back around the front of the farm. You'll need to put a stair above the chest. This has to be a stair. If you use a solid block, obviously you won't be able to open the chest, but you knew that, so it's got to be a stair. Now to make it easier for me to access that chest, I'm going to put in 3 stairs like that. Just makes it a little bit easier for me to see and access that chest. Now when I get around the side of it, I'm going to be putting spruce logs 4 high. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. Okay, same around the other side. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and then a line of spruce logs across the top at the back to make the enclosure. We're going to be putting glass in there. I'm going to be putting cracked stone brick in there because it looks a little bit, it's got a similar texture to the droppers and the dispensers. Okay, you can use whatever you like for those 2 blocks, but I'm going to be using cracked stone brick. And you can make cracked stone brick just by putting stone brick in a furnace because it's got a similar texture. Now you want to get yourself some grass blocks. You'll need to crouch because of the hopper, and you want to put grass blocks in there like that. And then on top of the grass blocks, you'll need to put down 3 flowers. Now in front of here, on here, you're going to be putting down your glass blocks so you can see in. If you don't want to see in, then they don't have to be glass blocks. Now because the grass blocks in there are spawnable, when it gets dark at night, you're going to get mobs spawning in there. So you need some light in there. Now you can either put a torch over there if you want, or you can fill the top in here with an illuminated block. I'm going to be using glowstone, but you can use frog lanterns or sea lanterns, frog lights or sea lanterns. Just make sure that it's illuminated in there because you don't want to be sharing your bees enclosure with a zombie or a creeper, do you? Now you want to get around to the side, get around to the right hand side of the farm. We need to make some access so you can access that dropper. Okay, so pop out those 2 blocks like that, take out your stair, and you're going to have to get in and put an upside down stair like that. And then on this block, you'll need to put down a trapdoor. So you'll need to be inside your farm looking out. You need to put down a trapdoor there. Okay, now you might be thinking, why don't you just put a trapdoor there, Frills? Because, my friends, when this system activates that dropper there, it will also activate that trapdoor. Okay, so that will power that trapdoor. So it will always be open. All right, which is why you can't leave it there. Only if you don't mind it being open, by all means put it there. I don't want it to be open. Okay, so I'm going to put it at the bottom like that. And that way, it won't get powered. So when you open that there, you can see the top dropper. Now all of your bottles are going to be put in the dropper. Don't bother putting anything in the dispenser. If you do, it's just going to get sucked out by the hoppers there. Okay, so nothing goes in that dispenser because if it does, it's just going to disappear. you're going to be putting bottles in the top dropper. Now, you want to get around the other side, and you need to do something similar around here. You need to be able to access that dispenser because that's where your shears are going to go. And we've got a similar problem here because when that observer pops up and powers that dropper, it's going to also powers that dispenser. It's going to power that block there. So you can't just put a trapdoor there like that. If you do, this will happen. Okay, same as what would happen on the other side. So what you need to do is you'll need to put your trapdoor there, like that. And then here, you're going to need to put a stair. All right, so now to access that dispenser, you're just going to have to open the door and then just jump up and click on it. Okay, it's messy, but it's easy to do. It's not difficult. It's just one of those things. You're just going to have to do it. Okay, so now you've got something that looks like that. So now it's time to fill in around the back. So grab yourself a torch to start with. You're going to want to just jump down in here and light this place up a little bit. Okay? I don't think lighting updates cause as much lag as they used to, but this is all spawnable. So once this is all filled in, we don't want a creeper in here looking up at you, do we, when you walk in the back of the farm? So make sure you light this up properly. And then jump out and grab yourself your block of choice, whatever you're going to be building this out of. And then you just need to go around the outside, filling it in. I'm leaving a space there because I'm going to be putting a door in there. Like that, so I can get in if I need to and have a look around, make sure there's everything's in working order. Like that. So now you should have something that looks like that. I'm going to be putting a quick roof over the top of it. You don't have to, or you can build it out of what you like. It doesn't have to be like this. You can build a massive box if you want to, but I'm just going to put just a roof over the top of it. And I've used slabs at the top and stairs. Obviously, nothing's going to be able to spawn up on top of the roof. But as I say, the outside is just is aesthetics only. You can make it look however you want. You can build it into a wall if you want to, build it into the side of a mountain, and all you're going to be able to see is the front. That would look pretty cool, actually. I wish I'd thought about that before I started building the tutorial. Anyway, now what you need to do is get some bees in there. Now I'm going to be doing this with bee spawn eggs because I can. You're going to have to do this by either leashing a bee and dragging it in, or if you've got a beehive or bee nest anywhere close, wait for the 3 bees to go inside and then silk touch it at night, and then you can bring it back, put it in your farm, and it will automatically have 3 bees in it to start with. You can get 2 in there and breed them up using flowers to get a little baby. When these little fellas get out, they're off. There you go. So now we've got our 3 bees in there. They're going to do their work. Now, while they're in there, it's going to take a little while for them to get the hive filled up. You need to start putting in your shears and your empty bottles. So grab yourself a couple of stacks of empty bottles. The more empty bottles you've got, the better. And remember, put them in the top dropper. Don't put them in the dispenser. They'll just fall straight out. Okay, put them in the top dropper. Now get yourself around the other side, and you need to fill this one there with shears. Like that. And then we need to decide whether we want to farm honey or whether we want to farm honeycomb. Okay? So this side is up. It's the honeycomb side. So we know that when the lever's up, we'll be farming honeycomb. When the lever's down, we'll be farming honey. So grab yourself a sign, and you need to put the little lines, little arrow pointing upwards, and then honeycomb, and underneath it, honey. And a little lines simulating an arrow pointing down. Like that. And now we've just got to wait for those bad boys to do their work. So there you have it, everybody, an automatic bee farm that will switch between honey and honeycomb. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like, and if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future tutorials. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.